Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're crushing morning miles or sprinting through back-to-back meetings, give your body the energy, protein, and power it needs to help you conquer your goals. Only at Smoothie King.
All on Front Street is where the truth takes center stage and no topic is tucked away. This is Unapologetic, Unfiltered, a podcast that puts the real out front, where the conversations that matter, stories they don't want told, and the voices the mainstream tries to silence. From entertainers and authors to influencers, journalists, and independent business owners. No guest is off limits and no conversation is too raw. If it's shaking culture, exposing industry games, or breaking generational curses, it's going on Front Street. Expect bold interviews, streetwise commentary, behind the scenes revelations, and moments that'll make you laugh, gasp, or rethink everything you thought you knew.
Is it safe to come out now?
I guess so.
I don't know. I feel like we're about to head for a nuclear holocaust. I just want to know where's the best seating and who has the fans.
When the damn thing drop, I'm gonna just be outside butt naked. I'm just gonna wait for them. I'd rather be right there at the epicenter. I wasn't supposed to cuss. God, I'm gonna edit that out. But anyway,
you gonna edit it out, or maybe we should just start all over again.
No, that's cool. Let's keep it going. Don't trip. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be walking around that piece like whatever. You know, back in the day, that was a real threat when I was in junior high. I remember that because we were just getting out the Cold War. And Russia was like, that was a real threat. When people used to talk about that as kids, we were talking about, what if a nuke dropped, or what if, like real talk. We used to talk about that. I remember talking about that with one of my white classmates in 7th grade. And it was like, ain't nothing you can do. You just gotta walk around. Ain't nothing you can do if it's, you better be close to the epicenter if anything.
When you were in 7th grade, I was in 9th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already in boarding school.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was on the East Coast. I was in Jersey.
Boarding school, is that a school where they paddled you or something? Or boarding?
No, that means that I had to leave my home and I had to go away and I had to live on a campus in a dormitory with a bunch of weirdos. Wow. And I worked at the cafeteria and I was there on a scholarship. And
you want to hear something funny?
What?
I remember I was talking to my son when he was little, and I said, I was talking to my brother, and my son was there, and he was like, kindergarten, 1st grade. And I said, I want to try to put him in private school. And he started laughing. My son started laughing. I'm like, why you laughing? He's like, you said private school. I said, yeah, I'm going to try to put you in private school. He said, what kind of school is that? And he started laughing. And I said, why are you laughing? He said, is that a school for your privates?
Lord have mercy. How old was he?
Maybe 5.
Yes.
Okay, you want to hear something else? But I am interested in your boarding school.
No, you're not.
No, I am, because I said
I crashed out.
I want to know. Well, that needs to be a whole episode. Like,
no, because that's a part of my past that I'd rather leave in my past. What I will say is my boarding school career ended with lies written about me. Like, people have been trolling me my whole life. G.
Is this part of what you wrote in the book for No, that had to. Yeah, no, that was.
No, that was grade school. That was grade school.
So for
that
those
was
who
grade
don't know,
school.
She wrote an excerpt in Megan's book.
Tell the truth. I wrote the foreword. Yeah.
And that happened before. So y'all.
Yeah,
so
that
y'all
that was 4th grade.
Wow.
That was 4th grade. Yeah.
So see, that's why I said it. Well, you ain't got it. See, and that's the thing. Everything ain't for everybody, and that's the beauty of it. You ain't got to share it if you don't want to.
No, I can share it. It's just I can share it. It's just it was I was very volatile in my anger when I was younger. I was messed with a lot. I was picked with a lot. I was trolled a lot. There was a lot of stuff that happened. And
Yeah.
when I think back to it now, I'm grateful that all of that happened, because it was like I was being prepared for what I'm living through now.
Yeah.
And it's funny because even at 48 years old, the idea that there are a bunch of weirdo adults moving about, moving around, still trolling me and still lying on me and still bothering, trying to bother me in some way. And I'm glad that I get to look back at moments when, I lost my cool. And I did. I lost my cool on the dean of my dormitory, G. Like, I literally pulled the towel rack off the wall in the bathroom in the lobby where we had devotional, where the sitting room was, the TV room, and then we had the pay phones there on the wall for people to be able to make calls and all of that. And I went into that bathroom that was there in that public area, snatched the towel rack off the wall, busted into the office where my dean was, and I went to work on her ass because she had written a bunch of salacious lies about me, all in my records. She was trying to, find a way to revoke my scholarship. Said that I had been places on campus doing things that I hadn't been doing. There was all kinds of stuff that happened. I was injured while I was there. I had chemical burns on my lungs, and they wouldn't let me go to the hospital because they didn't want to give my family the ability to sue them. I've been through so many different, crazy things that have happened in my life, just like injustices. And once again, here I am, 48 years old, and I see that it was all really preparing me to be ready for these moments in my life. Because what if everything had gone my way? What if everything had gone great when I was younger? What if everything was okay? And then things just started unraveling and going nuts as I got older. It could have been enough to push me over the edge.
Yeah.
At the wrong time, rather than understanding that sometimes these things happen. Sometimes we get targeted. Sometimes God selects us to be examples, and we have to know how to deal with that pressure.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. You're right. You're right. And you've definitely been through a lot, and it's still going on right now in regards to all the gaslighting and defaming and things like that. And I know you, so I know how you deal with it, but it's sad. But I think God will not put you in a situation so that you couldn't handle it. So, and you got the tough skin to deal with it. Now let me pivot. Since I talked about tough skin, I wanted to bring up two stories that I just saw that came across my news desk. There was a human skin teddy bear that was found at a California bus stop. Did you hear about that?
What?
Yeah, this is crazy, right? It's a human skin teddy bear. Let me just give you the cliff note. Human skin teddy bear at a California bus stop. It leads to an arrest. So I saw the article some time ago, a couple days ago, and they said that there was a teddy bear that was covered in human skin, and they don't know who set it there, and then they found out who set it there. Now they say there's an arrest. So San Bernardino County coroner investigators confirmed that the macabre bear was in fact a toy that contained no human tissue. So they said the sheriff's deputies arrested an alleged prankster on Monday, yesterday, accusing him of planting a creepy teddy bear that looked like it was made of bloody human tissue. So this guy Villanueva was booked on suspicion of causing a needless emergency response by planting a phony bear, the evidence or whatever. All this happened in Victorville. we all know about Victorville, but it was at a bus stop near a gas station off of Bear Valley Road. What are your thoughts?
Isn't Victorville where the Bates Motel for that movie was?
Is that where it was? It might have been.
Was it? I don't know, but I tell you one thing: every time I've gone through Victorville, I've gotten the same, creepy feeling. It's just it's a very creepy town. It's a very creepy town. And I just I don't want to, and this is where this happened, this fake, morbid teddy bear experience. And apparently a human being decided to do this as a prank to see how law enforcement would respond.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like somebody that's very bored.
People are weird, man.
No, it sounds like somebody that watched Silence of the Lambs. It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, no. And speaking of weird, I saw a news article that dropped today. I don't know how true this is. It says the Annabelle doll. I don't know if you heard about this Annabelle doll. The handler, his name was Dan Rivera. He died suddenly at 54 while touring with the haunted object. So they said he was a paranormal investigator. He died while traveling across the U.S. with the real purportedly haunted doll that inspired the horror movie series Annabelle. And he died of unknown causes on Sunday while handling the doll, known as America's most haunted object. He just died all of a sudden. And that's all I really want to go. But yeah, what do you think of that?
I think people should stop playing with the devil. That's what I think. This doll, this movie, it's created fear. It honestly, it reminds me of when I was a kid and the whole poltergeist phenomenon in the movies. And there was one of the actors, I believe, that passed away from being terrified while on set, and people were saying that worked there that whatever the optical illusions that they were creating, that they had become real in some way, and that they were literally scaring people to death. So to me, it just sounds reminiscent of that, Poltergeist in the 80s and now Annabelle in the 2000s, 40 years, and the same lessons need to be learned and applied. Stop playing with things that you don't want to be real. Stop playing with it.
The guy, he was an Army vet. He was working for the New England Society for Psychic Research. He was working for them when he died. They said his death came months after he achieved viral fame on TikTok by posting about his paranormal tour and findings on the historic doll. Yeah, man. I wouldn't dabble into any of that. I'm not even eating pork because I don't even want the trichinosis that comes with it. Let alone I'm not going to be rocking around with this Raggedy Ann doll that's connected to some paranormal attacks. I'm cool. Well, I thought you figure he would know better. He sounds like he was Hispanic, but you figure that's some, Anyway.
Look, At this point in time, I'm starting to believe that people will do anything for money and people will do anything for fame.
Yeah.
And they really don't care about their well-being. They just don't. And I I don't care what people say, what people think. My godmother said it best. You knock at the devil's door long enough, one day he's going to answer. He's going to pull you in. You might not be able to choose when you get to leave, if you get to leave at all. And it's real.
Yeah.
People like playing.
Yeah. Now you don't mess around with that Ouija board stuff. You don't mess around with.
No.
Don't play with none of that. I'm sorry, miss me with that. It's the reason why, it's the reason why certain people handle those types of things. The reason why there were shaman and things of that in ancient societies, prehistoric societies, or societies before. There's a reason why. But like you said, people don't care. Speaking of not caring. Now I can get into two stories. We're gonna get into two more, and either we're gonna speak of not caring. We can get into this Umar Johnson not caring about his I'll just say his standing in society, or we could talk about people not caring about Beyonce being robbed allegedly. What are we gonna talk about first, real quick? Which one you want to go first?
I don't know. They all sound crazy, so let's just jump right in.
Let's jump with this Beyonce stuff, because in all honesty, I heard the story. They said that there were 5 hard drives missing from a car last week that was broken into in Atlanta where Beyonce was performing. And first off, sounds like cap to me. Why would you leave anything in a car in Atlanta, number one? But first of all, I don't care. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, I lost jump drives and hard drives too. Okay. So yeah, I just said, what's your take on that whole story? I know you heard more about it.
I've heard what I've heard. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say. For me, my first impressions were cap, PR stunt, insurance scam, inside job, anything to quiet all of the bad press that Rock Nation is getting regarding Ramir and the DNA test that's coming up this week, that's demanded to be taken by this week, and Demore and Javon Hadley and the suit against Desiree Perez. Like, I think, that's just initially where it went for me. And it was wild because before we went online to look at anything, like, everyone was saying the same thing. For me, what I'm not understanding is what makes this news. Right. I don't understand what makes this news. And not only what makes this news, but what makes this news a week after the concerts. Like, This happened before the concert happened. This happened before the performances. Why was this not addressed until after the performances? And let's be very clear, those performances, it popped up very last minute. As far as I know, because I really don't follow these people, but usually when they got stuff going on, they're dominating the algorithm. They're putting all kinds of stuff in. They got all kinds of bots sharing all kinds of things. It's just kind of just like, whoop, it popped up, and then people posted some pictures from what I saw. But the truth is I didn't see a whole lot of reaction to this show being in Atlanta. Not the kind that you would expect in the United States. Actually, it got more fanfare in Paris than it did, in my opinion, anywhere in the United States. So yeah, it's like all of a sudden, and maybe it got overshadowed because of all of the talk of Ramir, because of all of the talk of Nicki Minaj, because of all of the talk of justice for the Hadleys and everything that's going on with that. Maybe that's why we didn't see it. Maybe they needed to create a sympathy campaign so people could feel bad for them in some way. But whatever the case may be, when you listen to the things that they have, that were taken of what was mentioned, none of this stuff is really a big deal. Number one, what are dancers and choreographers doing holding the drives with your music on it and plans for set lists and all of it? Like what would be the purpose? Were they listening to it so that they could work on the choreography? They wouldn't need the drives for that. You could just, cut them out, a little jump drive or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You could have emailed the music so that they could have just listened to it from a Google Drive. They wouldn't need the physical drive for any of that.
You could have it on your phone. If you have an iPhone, you could
exactly.
If you trust
somebody, if you're trusting somebody with the actual drives, then why not just send them a copy? That's first things first.
Right. Yeah, it just that's what I was like.
It all sounds super suspicious. Not only that, people are sitting up there, oh, the music is worth so much. Unreleased
if it's unreleased
music.
What is it worth? If it's unreleased, what is it worth?
It doesn't have any value until it's been released. You can't judge the value of unreleased music by the amount of money that you've made. You can speculate, but what if the records tank? And it's not like records don't tank, even for big artists. So what's the monetary value exactly? And more importantly, if these were all things that were planned around shows and songs and stuff that you were planning to share with the public in the future or whatever, then that means that music is already protected. If you're allowing it to be a part of production, that means it's already copywritten. That means it should already be registered. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it should already be protected. You should already have it, your BDS and all of that stuff set up. This is a professional operation. So
I'm glad you said professional operation. Speaking of, shouldn't there be encryptions on the drive? Passwords, basic passwords for the drives. You can't access it unless you got, I have all types of drives. I can put passwords on them. I can encrypt them. Come on, y'all. Stop. That's all I got.
It's just too much. It's too much pomp and circumstance around something that should have been protected, whether it was stolen or not. And let's just be honest, whoever steals it, wherever you try to sell it or stream it, the metadata and all of these things that are attached to it is going to lead right back to whoever got it. They're not really going to make a dime off of it. So there's nothing there. Like when they started saying things that when they said, what was it? The AirPod headphones or speakers or AirPod, like, are you kidding me? Like that's this is petty theft at best. It is. It's petty theft. We're not talking grand larceny. We're not talking, and how is that news? And why would it be necessary for 911 calls to be released about, no, nobody goes through all of this over this stuff. There are people's cars in Atlanta, in Houston, in Philly, in LA that get broken into every day. I know plenty of artists who have gone out of town and got robbed. And guess what? You don't hear about it. They don't say anything about it. When entertainers are making these kinds of small deals public knowledge, it's because they want people to look at it. They want people to have a reaction to it. And in my opinion, they needed something to calm down the DNA test stories, all of the bad press that Rock Nation is getting. And, the simple fact that apparently the Mrs. Carter fans really don't want to see her husband on stage. They really don't want that around. So I don't know. It's given PR stunt. It's given sympathy campaign. And unless there was something more valuable, if there was something more valuable that they're not talking about, then it sounds like insurance settlements, Yep. Yeah, but all in all, it's not news. So I don't understand why people are making such a big deal about it.
Yeah, it's not news. It is not news.
Umar Johnson's story is more news than this robbery.
Umar Johnson, you're right. Umar Johnson's situation is bad. Let me just tee it up real quick. Now, I know some things, and I've met Umar some time ago. We have some mutual acquaintances. You already know. He's, to me, I have no problems with him. They did ask him about you on the blue couch, and he said no comment. I don't think he's trying to throw any shade or anything like that. I don't see him as.
Hold on, what?
Wait, what?
What'd you say?
You don't remember they asked him about you on the blue couch, and he said no comment.
Mm-hmm. He don't want no smoke with me.
Well, yeah. But also I know the type of brother he is, and I just don't like this. What's going on right now? There's two things that have happened where it seems like he's being targeted. Where right now, let's just play it. Let me set it up though. He basically is being accused of. Everybody know he's a thought. Everybody know he's a thought, right? So there's someone who came out and said that he was in a relationship with them, and they're trying to air him out. And this was done on. He doesn't want to say the guy's name, but the guy name is Lennon Honor. And Lennon Honor featured me in a documentary some time ago. Yeah, he featured me. A lot of us from the LA conscious community, it was a hip hop doc. It was about how hip hop messed up everyone's life, and I was there to hip hop didn't mess up everybody's life, So he kind of had me on as the
opposing opinion.
Right. But overall, Lennon after that just kind of went in on he got obsessed with exposing Dr. Umar, and I was like, okay, it's kind of his whole channel, his channel, but back in the day used to be his lectures, and I actually got wind of him, and that's how I reached out to him, and I actually was in communication with him, met him, his wife, his kids, they're cool, whatever. Then all of a sudden he just went straight Umar. I'm talking about Umar. We had to check him because he started talking about Griff. I remember that. One time he mentioned something about Griff. He mentioned something about them saying fight the power and who's the power, and then he was making some correlation to at the time it was the New Boys when they had that one song called Jerk, You're a Jerk, and he turned it into some homosexual thing where they're circle jerking, and I was just like, come on, bro, you're reaching like a mug. But anyway, this one woman who decides she wants to air out Dr. Umar, she went on his platform, and I guess and was talking about what happened to Umar. So I'm gonna play what Umar's response is to this whole situation. I'll pause it when you want. Just let me know. All right. So this is what Dr. Umar was saying.
Brothers and sisters,
here we go.
Without being too vulgar, those 3 private contacts basically consisted of her gummy bearing my Shango.
Oh God!
Wow.
She gummy bared the Shango. That's basically what she did. It was a jump off. Hood rat jump off. That's all it was. Fellatio. 3 fellatio sessions. I came to visit. She wanted to please the Prince of Pan-Africanism. So it happened. 3 fellatio sessions. I'm not proud to say that. And then, of course, quote unquote caregiver. I put caregiver in quotes because she did anything but care for my mother. Anyway, this was the first week of March, Sweden. I come back from Sweden. I'm disappointed. Can't work with this woman no more. Can't take care of my mother. I can't mess with you. I started to distance myself from her. On June the 25th, the last moon that we had, I do my Art of Dialogue interview. I'm coming out of my Art of Dialogue interview and my phone is blowing up. There's a woman on Pastor Bussy's page claiming that y'all was in a 2.5-year relationship, that you were in love with her, that you
Pastor
wanted to
Bussy
marry her, that you
running
wanted
off.
her to have your child. You were in a 2.5-year relationship with her. You were in love with her. You wanted to marry her. You wanted her to have your child. You
One
were
more
in a
time for the
2.5-year
cheap seats.
relationship.
Go ahead. What you say?
One more time for the cheap seats.
2.5-year relationship with her. You wanted to marry her. You wanted, you was in love with her, and
he
you
been
wanted her
repeating
to
stuff
be
3
your
times.
wife. Brothers and sisters, I have women who look way better than her, who have done more for me in my life than she ever could, who I wasn't in love with, who I didn't want to make my wife, who I didn't want to have my baby. So this woman, this Kansas City thought, this Jezebel, this jump off, this smash and grab,
Smash your crap. Wow.
spent 3 times with me, not 3 nights, because I never spent the night.
Wow.
I never
okay.
spent the night with her in my life. I never spent a night with her in my life. I saw her 3 times. And 3 times, all of which, if I'm not mistaken, were during the first quarter of 2025. 3 times, and I'm in love with her. 3 times I want to marry her. 3 times I want her to have my baby. 3 times, and we were in a 2.5-year relationship. Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters. But it gets worse.
Brothers and sisters.
She told Pastor Bussy. She told Pastor Bussy. And let me say this about Pastor Bussy. Rainbow Bunny. Pastor Bussy, the Rainbow Bunny, has been cyber stalking me for 10 years. People have asked me to put a stop to him legally. I had 2 attorneys who sent him cease and desist.
And clearly
And
he turned it into
cease
toilet
and
tissue.
desist.
Nope.
Those
Okay,
attorneys
let's
did not
pause.
live in Utah where he lives. Those attorneys did not live in Utah, so there was no follow-up. I recently consulted with a Utah
We
attorney
pause.
who told
Okay.
me I have a serious case against.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Number one, for someone who's been heavily gaslit, for someone who's been heavily cyberstalked, for someone who's had to deal with all kinds of invasion of privacy in real life and in real time, I understand his frustration. Like, I totally get it. There's nothing worse than a stranger being able to go online and just make up whatever they want to make up about you, or take whatever details about your life and remix them and T-Pain chop and screw them and turn them into whatever you want to turn them into for their profit and for someone, else's entertainment. It sucks. It sucks because it just kind of feels like you're an ever living character in someone's virtual dunking booth. You get tied to this virtual chair, and people get to stand around while people just throw stuff at you and just keep dunking you and dunking you and dunking you. And it's all done without your permission, without your acknowledgments, or even your compensation, because the kind of money that some of these people make off of doing this stuff is substantial. Like, people have made a substantial amount of money lying on me, defaming my character, defrauding me. I mean, as it stands right now, there are 3 grown men online right now doing this very thing. So I get it. Get being upset about it. And I've lashed out. I've had all kinds of things to say about it. But this is my issue. Where does the woman fit in? Because she wasn't the one that's been stalking him and harassing him for all of these years. This woman, at some point in time, you invited her into your life, and the first thing she does is go and run off to your op. And you're sitting here talking about fellatio. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to get that clear because it all sounds either this was an orchestrated plan all along.
Yeah.
Or you crossed the line with someone that you probably shouldn't have crossed the line with.
Right.
And I can understand both and see both, but let's just see where this is going, brothers and sisters.
It's the pussy, the rainbow bunny. But I'm going to have to fly out to Utah a couple times to appear in court. So this attorney told me that if I give him the retainer, he will begin the investigation on Pastor Bussy. And after looking at Pastor Bussy's YouTube page, he says he is quite certain that I have a case for slander, I have a case for libel, I have a case for defamation. And he also said because he's been making money off of my name for 10 years, that he can be made to pay me back all the money that he made in my name, and that we can lay siege to any property that he owns. I told him that the man is broke. He don't have any property. He basically pays his bills by making Dr. Umar defamation films. He said, well, if that's the case, if he has a job, then his wages can be garnished until he satisfies the balance of the settlement from court. So brothers and sisters, I have finally realized that I have to have a Dr. Umar defense fund. I have to have a Dr. Umar defense fund.
Not a building fund.
And the reason I have to have a Dr. Umar defense fund is not because I have to defend myself. I have to have a Dr. Umar defense fund so I can file suit against people who think it's okay to constantly slander my name and attack my mother.
I mean, I'm not mad at him though. I'm not mad. Yep, gotta protect your name, gotta protect your
my
mama.
mother.
You know?
So, brothers and sisters, this woman told Pastor Bussy,
that part,
the rainbow bunny,
huh?
the YouTubian struggle streamer, she told Pastor Bussy that I went down on her. Brothers and sisters,
Oh, Lord.
I'm willing to take a lie detector test. Brothers and sisters, I'm willing to take a lie detector test.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters,
one more time.
I'm willing to take a lie detector test. When that woman,
Got it.
after gummy bearing my Shango stick, that woman
Okay.
took off her underwear, and I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, and I don't mean no disrespect to feminine energy. I don't mean no disrespect to feminine energy.
Go ahead, one more time.
I don't mean no disrespect to feminine energy. When she took her underwear off, brothers and sisters, she smelled like something crawled up inside of her and died.
Okay,
she
stop.
smelled like.
I'm not. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
look. You know, I'm glad they didn't have social media
when Martin Luther King was alive, because I couldn't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm cringing while you're talking. That's all. I'm just cringing. Go ahead.
No, like he's the Prince of Pan-Africanism, the Prince of Pineapple Pizza. Now let me stop. I got respect. I got respect for Dr. Umar. Like I'm
glad you do.
I
wish he did too. You know, that's how I feel. I wish he had the same respect for himself that you.
But
have.
I don't. Why put yourself in a situation? Why even go in on his sister like that? Why have your Shango stick in a chick's mouth getting gummied up? Why you ain't married? I don't know. I got questions.
Okay, now see, here we go. Now this is the thing, and this is where it gets tricky in this whole situation, because this is a person that you're saying, you're really not saying how she came into your life. He's hinting around it, but he's really attacking, the fact that she put these stories out there about him. Do I think she's lying about everything? Maybe not. Do I think she's telling the truth about everything? Absolutely not. Do I think she's capping? Most likely, considering that she went to like his number one. Like, if he is the Superman of Pan-Africanism, then she definitely ran to his Lex Luthor. So, and the Lex Luthor, this linen person, Mr. Sheets, he used her like a piece of kryptonite.
Yep, the gummy and the Shango is the kryptonite.
To get somebody of his stature to get online and to carry this out in this fashion, like, if I'm correct, a good share of his audience are women.
Majority of them.
They're women. So you can say no, no disrespect to feminine energy, but that was with all due disrespect. And there's no way that any woman who you come into contact with, like, I'm just sitting there thinking to the people who he's been, I don't want to say pandering, promoting his school to. How they're supposed to feel comfortable with continuing to represent, like if I'm listening to you talk this way about somebody who you had your penis in their mouth.
Oh God.
I can only imagine what's going to happen at that school. What happens when you fall out with, one of the students' parents? What happens if one of the students' parents doesn't like the way you're reprimanding their child? What if, what are you going to do? Are you going to get on social media and talk about how the mom, has a safety pin in her stockings, and how the kid, doesn't have it's the wrong way to go for someone like him. It would be the wrong way to go for somebody like me, and I'm known to jag out. Like, I have a reputation of flaming on people, and even I see the danger in. I mean, you've known me now for a little bit. Me and you, we got a little bit of time in. We got a little bit of history in. How many times have I stopped myself from saying things?
A lot.
Because I realized exactly how bad a detractor that will be for my agenda, for what I'm trying to get done.
Yeah.
And it's just this is not a good leadership move.
Nah.
For somebody that's talking about leadership, for somebody that's talking about the importance of the preservation of our race, for somebody that's talking about all of this stuff, like, this isn't good.
Nah.
You sound like Bishop. You sound like more like Bishop Don Juan, G. Like, you don't sound like the principal of a school. You don't sound like the founder of an educational institution. You don't sound like somebody who's really like you. You don't sound like what you. It ain't right. It's not right. But once again, it's a catch-22 because what's happening to him is very wrong, and he's justified to have this kind of outrage. Like, clearly these people push some kind of buttons. There is something that she said and something that she did, but maybe we need to listen further, because wasn't there a situation where wellness checks or something were called to his mother's house and stuff like that?
They were there. I think they're doing all types of stuff to just get up under his skin, more than get up under his skin. But side note, I'm gonna tie in what I said about my son earlier about the private school. When I donated to Dr. Umar's school, because I was like, hey man, I'll work at your school. I have a background in IT. At the time I just finished a project working on LA Unified, doing all the wireless there. It's like, yeah, if you need an IT guy, man, I'm here. Let me know. In fact, I got a son. He's in kindergarten. I'll make sure he gets there. I want him to come to your school. You know that you know how long ago that was? My son just graduated from high school.
Yeah, I know. So let's just say you dodged a bullet. Um,
All right, let's go back. Let's finish listening. We ain't gonna go too long.
private school.
I got some other information. We're gonna wrap this up because I gotta see some other information. But yeah,
Oh my god.
private school.
Private interactions, and here's what he had to say about the fish smell.
You ever smell a fish tank that somebody ain't cleaned in like 2 years? They got goldfish in there. They got all kind of fish, and it ain't been cleaned in years. That's what she smelled like.
God,
So she took off those funky ass drawers.
damn.
Her drawers were so old and so funky that I thought it was a wife beater. That's how stretched out her drawers was. Her drawers were so old and so funky. I thought her underwear was a slingshot. Her drawers were so funky and so stank, brothers and sisters, that I thought it was a wife beater, brothers and sisters. And I don't mean no disrespect. So
And
when
you
she
didn't get a
said
whiff of
it's
that while
my
she
turn,
was gunning you down.
after she got finished swallowing the Shango, she said it's my turn.
Wow.
After she got finished swallowing the Prince of Pan-Africanism, she said it's my
Oh,
turn.
wow.
One more time.
And I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, how do I get out of this? Because it ain't no way under God's heaven that King Kong consciousness face, nose, tongue, lips, ears, or hairline is going anywhere near that cootie cat, brother.
Okay. All right, I had to pause it and stop it. In fact, yeah, I mean that is not becoming of a.
This just
leader.
ain't a good look. It's not a good look. It didn't sound like somebody that's a leader. It sounded like somebody that's the leader in a roast. Like he
Right.
sounds more like a comedian than he sounds like somebody for the community to take seriously as a leader. And
all of our elders say, in order to be a great leader, you got to know how to control your your sexual. You got to know how to control that.
see,
So-
that's the thing. Is she one of, like, was she a supporter? Like, I would like to have more understanding of everything that's going on. But for you to be saying all of these things, for you to be talking about her, her smell and all of this and all of that, you telling me, when did he notice that? On the third time she went, and gave him tribute to his Shango stick, as he would say, like.
Well-
When did you realize that she stank? Was it the first time and he kept letting her go down? Because the truth is, if the woman is unclean in her nether regions, what makes you think her mouth is any better? Like
Right.
it's
She swallowed the Shango or gummied the Shango stick, and he didn't touch the waters of Anun, right? Or the waters of Nun, right? Or the
I don't know.
and
That's
he-
just like a guy saying that he got a bashdoor from a crackhead and it was okay because he used a condom. You know what I mean? Like
I gotta edit that out. You over here doing a whole lot. That's that's nasty.
it's the truth. I know dudes that used to brag about that back in the day, who sold drugs and they were pharmaceutical dealers, and they would sit up there, yeah, man, I had me some stuff earlier, yeah, man, she came, she slapped my knob and I hit it from the back, it got bust me a nut, whoopty-whoopty-woo, and yada yada yada. It was a crackhead, but they thought it was okay because they used a condom. And to me, like, it feels just as greasy as that. But once again, like, how did this woman get into your life? And more importantly, if this woman is this reckless and she's doing all of this kind of stuff and you disapprove of her, when did she get your approval to be good enough to be around your mom? Like, when did she get your...
That's the problem. I think that's how she got into his life. I think she was okay. So the game, it looks like he's one of the guys that's like, single mom. You got kids, and a lot of times it's boys and they're in special needs. They have ADHD, and I have his book. I got Dr. Umar's book, and he said ADHD really stands for ain't no damn daddy at home, right? So he wants to be the daddy. He'll be the daddy. And
He's gonna be everybody's daddy, huh?
Right. He's probably, hitting all these single moms or whatever. He probably has a network of single moms around the country.
And isn't that what his school is supposed to be for? A school for single moms to send their children to?
It's not for single moms. It's going to be like for kids that it'll be, boys on one side, girls on one side, I believe, or something like that. It's not going to be integrated with the sexes, which is a good thing to a degree, because you want your kids to focus. You want the men to focus. You want the women to focus. But I'm just breaking it down like this. I think he has a bunch of single mothers that he has on speed dial, and this was one of them. And she maybe threw her services out there like, well, I could take care of your mom too, because that's what we were talking about. His mom being, he's taking care of his mom since 2018. That's what he says, right? So yeah. he needs help with that, and she was supposed to help. And I think that was an issue with she not doing a good job at it. She also has connection. She has his information for his personal and the school account.
Yeah, but why would she have
his banking
information? How did she get to listen to me? He talking about he got to fly this person around, put her up in hotels, and do all of this and do all of that. Why not just call a home health aid service?
Yeah.
Why not just hire somebody who specializes in this? Like, I was a home health aide when I was a kid, right after I had Giovanni. From 16 to like 18 years old, I was working as a home health aide. I also worked as a live-in, so I understand how this works. I did my training. You have to know how to do all of this stuff. Like, there was a situation where I think apparently she said the mother had fallen and she had slid down and she couldn't lift her up. Why was there no proper anything in that house? And it's just, if you could spend all of that money to fly this woman back and forth, if you could spend all of this money to put her up in hotels, you're having intimate relationships with her, and yet you're not. No, it sounds like a lot of this could have been avoided, and I just don't understand why someone of his intelligence would put himself in this position. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not judging. I have had all kinds of gaslighting situations in my life where people have been brought into my life specifically to create havoc, where people were sent into my life specifically to try to find a way to have an intimate engagement with me so that they could turn around and use it online and shame me and slander me. I know how it happens. I know that it can happen. My question is how did this happen to him?
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that even if this was just a bad choice that he made, that it became new ammunition for somebody who was clearly obsessed with him. Like, this is obsession. Anybody who can talk about the same person for 10 years, like there was something about this person literally pretended to be him to get his information on bills. Like, this is going too far. That's not investigative journalism. You're not going. You are a class A grand troll, and people like that are not mentally well. And if they're not mentally ill, then that means they're being hired by somebody to specifically target another person. Either one ain't cool. The question is if you're going to get online and you're going to go out in this nature and put all of this because you're outraged, maybe it is warranted. Without all of the information about how all of this stuff happened, you're leaving yourself at a disservice. And not only that, regardless, even if all of it was sympathetic to you, this is not the way for the man that you say you're supposed to be. And now look at him. It's just video after video. He's crashing out. Listen to what he said. Listen to what they said. Now you've given content to all of the people that also troll you, and for the people that don't. Now you the meal of the week. You the happy meal for trolls this week.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm gonna say this.
It's unfortunate. Like, I'm not even going to, like, there's a million jokes that I could tell. There's a million cards that I could pull. But because I understand what it's like to be trolled in this manner, I'm not even going to do it. I'm not. I really feel bad for him. And I feel bad for his mom, because what it sounds like is that somebody put a sign on his back, greenlit him, and they're going after him. And they're doing that with a lot of people who are pro-black, who are pro-black people, who are pro-black Americans, who are better home, better community, family values, all of that. And I might not agree with everything that he says, but I tell you one thing. He does a lot less damage to the community than most of these rappers that people are celebrating and worshiping. You know what I mean? And who knows? Maybe they've been targeting him to make it impossible for him to collect enough donations to be able to properly raise money to get to school. Maybe he got too close. Maybe it was about to happen and they created this situation just to make sure that it didn't happen. I don't know. I just think that people need to look a little bit deeper than the surface. And it's it's just unfortunate.
No. It is, and we're gonna wrap it on this note. I just happened to look at Lennon Honor's channel, and this is the last video he just dropped. Umar Johnson's $500,000 scheme, part 7. Like, bro, don't you got something else to talk about?
Is his last name Walmack?
Well, shoot. Yeah, hey, he might know them. He might know Barbara. I mean, he might know Rodney Earl. He might know Rodney and Barbara Earl.
Part 7, like it's
part
sad.
7 is crazy.
It's sad. It's sad.
It's 3 hours. It's over 3 hours.
Yeah. It sounds like some of the weirdos that stalk and harass me, doing 6 and 7 hour lives, telling the same lie over and over again, trying to get people to believe. That's the thing. Like, honestly, before we got into this conversation, I was ready to go in on him. I was ready to run down on him. I was ready to clown on him, because once again, I won't say that I'm his biggest fan, because I'm not. But the more I listen, the more I feel like he's being targeted, he's being gaslit, and this reaction is an emotional distress breakdown. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
And that I'm not cool with.
That's what it was. And no, I'm clowning, but I'm not.
You're not clowning. You laughing no different than I laughed when I first heard some of this stuff. But the more that I'm listening to him and the way that he's going in, see, and that's why I said, if you're not going to be completely transparent, your reaction should not be online. It just shouldn't.
Right.
It shouldn't be online, because I hear him editing. He's not saying something. There's something that he's not saying, because he keeps weighing in on how disgusting they are, how terrible they are, what awful people they are. And guess what? All of that may be true, but unless you're willing to be completely transparent, you're just going to get left looking like a clown and like a crash out. And these people are going to be emboldened to keep going at you.
Yep. Well, all I got to say is, I don't have anything against Dr. Umar. In fact, I got his back. If he gets back out here to LA, he know where to find me. I know where to find him. We got mutual connects, Ross Bob. We got to just chop it up with him. I got to chop it up with him just like man to man, just to be like, yo, he's almost done getting the school together, and I'm not mad at it. That's cool. But yeah, they're definitely, there's some people and there's some situations, there's things that are preventing what it is that he's trying to do. Like I said, whether you agree with him or not, I mean, there's a school out here, Marcus Garvey School. They suddenly attacked that. I was working for that school. You probably don't know, but all black school, teaching the kids just black history, and these kids were phenomenal. They were dope. I had my kids there for summer school and stuff like that. Man, they do anything to not get us to have our own. So I would just chop it up with him about that. But in all honesty, I was clowning, but I'm just like, I got much respect and I appreciate what he's doing. But yeah, like you say, now you're seeing behind the scenes. Now that you got a little peek, you kind of know, like, it's something else going on.
No, there's definitely something else going on. And the more that I listen to him, honestly, it just kind of pulls at my empathy. It's really tugging at my compassion and my empathy, because it really does sound like they're out to get him. And his reaction is just creating them, that space that they need to keep coming after him. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be surprised about my reaction at this, because this typically would be the kind of thing where I would go in. But when I hear something wrong, I can't not acknowledge it, because he went after this woman in the most egregious of ways, and it's so disgusting. But the thing is, it's going to hurt him with women overall as a whole. It's going to make people look at him sideways, because of the things that he said and the way that he said them. And apparently this Mr. Linen Sheets man, he knew that, and he knew to go, he knew to run in on it. So it's feeling orchestrated, and it's feeling like an attack. And I wish our people wouldn't be so quick to jump on the bandwagon of clowning other people who are in, legitimate distress.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this. We done. This is the Front Street Fumble. Y'all fumbling on getting this the real news. I'll just say it like that. But no, this is not a fumble for Dr. Umar. Well, it is a fumble for Dr. Umar. He shouldn't have.
It's a fumble for Dr. Umar.
Umar, it's a fumble for the whole community too. I'll say it like that.
No, it's definite. That's who it's really a fumble for, because once again, now people are focusing on division between our people when we're supposed to be focusing on unity, and this just adds to, us continuing, the divisive, bullshit. It's really sad when you look at it for what it is. But everybody wants to be entertained. There's millions of views now based around all of this, and nobody's really looking past what came out of his mouth.
Yeah,
they're not looking past that. They're not seeing the bigger picture, and it's like a mural.
Oh man, there we go. Another edit. All right.
My bad.
No, it's all good. Beautiful work. We'll see y'all on the flip side.
Yeah. And don't believe the hype. Jesus. Or the fish.